Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm bringing the side part back today. I tried to be a middle part kind of girl and I'm just not. So today's video is going to be the most random assortment of favorites I've done in a bit. I'm loving all these random things, and even my husband, he was getting ready for work and he saw this table of things and he's like, "You are funny." I'm like, "Well, I've been loving these things." He's like, "Really?" Like, you'll see, just wait. There's so much good stuff in here. We're talking things from beauty all the way to the kitchen, as per usual. I mean, those of you who watch me regularly, hello, welcome. If you are new, please subscribe. But for those of you who are here, you're like, this doesn't surprise me at all. So let's get into it. So let's start with the first thing that I don't want to knock over and break. I bought these super awesome lamps, and my husband saw this. He's like, "Really?" I'm like, yes, I love these lamps. In fact, I was shopping at Kirkland's, I saw these, went home, didn't buy them, and couldn't stop thinking about them. And that's how you know it's something you really, really liked. And so I waited a day, or a day or two, and I went back and got 2 of them. But I said, "Honey, I bought these for you." So I have full intentions on, in our next home, hopefully having some sort of an office or space for my husband so he can work from home when he needs to work from home, and not just be, because right now we don't have an office and so it's chaos when he needs to work. But I love these. I love the fact that they're black. I think they have a masculine vibe to them. They're kind of industrial, yet rustic, yet farmhouse. I just feel like they're kind of a chameleon lamp. So no matter what your style is, I think that they would work. I bought 2 of them. They come with the amber glow bulbs, so you could obviously swap that out, but I love the light that these put off. I have them in my entryway, and I leave them on all day long because I have no natural light in my entryway, and it's like a cave. It's like, welcome to my cave house. And so I like to leave lights on because otherwise it's just really awkward to have people come over and it's like dark in there. But these, I absolutely love them, and I thought they were, I can't remember how much they were, but a fair price, a good price at Kirkland's. And so I had to share those because, I mean, if I'm going to be authentic and share with you what I really, really like and what I've been enjoying, it's got to include things like lamps. Okay, let's share something a little less weird, right? I have a couple makeup favorites, actually quite a few. This first one is a rediscovered favorite, the Benefit Rockateur Blush. I'm wearing this today. Let me turn this light down just a little bit. I love the color of this. So I don't know if they reformulated this or not, but this particular one I've had for quite some time. It's that beautiful, okay, now the dogs in the neighborhood are going off. They don't like each other, can you tell? So it's a gorgeous rose gold color, very flattering on the cheeks. I'm wearing this today. It's a good year-round blush because I feel like it really transitions well into summer where you have like a bronze, whole bronze thing going on, but in the winter time, like, we need that too. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling rather pasty these days, and so I really like to warm up my skin with bronzer and then a corresponding beautiful blush. So I've been using this, reaching for this a lot lately, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna share that because I've been really enjoying it. Another rediscover, I've always loved this, but I guess on YouTube here they deem it a rediscovered favorite. The Sultry Palette. I'm wearing this today on my eyes. I've been reaching for this a ton because I love this color Twig in here. It's a really nice, cool toned, matte taupe shade, but a really good taupe shade, like the kind where you want, it's like not gray, but it's not brown, but it's not drab, and it's really good for blue eyes. Love that. And then it has such good lid shades in here. I've always been a really big fan of this palette. I looked this morning to see where you can purchase this. Beauty Bay, the Anastasia Beverly Hills actual website, but I don't believe it's readily available anymore at Ulta or Sephora. Maybe yours might have a few, but yeah, you can still buy it. So that's good news. Snag it if you haven't, because if you are a neutral to cool toned lover in eyeshadow like I am, then I think you'd probably get a lot of use out of this. And look how beautiful the package is. I mean, I like packaging, don't get me wrong, but I don't display it, so I don't care if it's ugly packaging. I care about the inside. Okay, so during the whole winter storm and we lost power and that whole debacle thing that happened, we went to Walmart and we bought a bunch of board games. And one of the games that we bought, I'm going to share with you, and I think you guys need to pick this up. It is such a fun game. I have 2 children, ages 8 and 10, and they were able to pick this up really, really easily. It's for ages 7 and up. 2 to 5 players. But what's interesting about this is my husband and I watched this game or board game documentary on Amazon about, you know, people that make board games and make card games, and it was just very interesting. So I recommend checking that out. But it's called Exploding Kittens, and this was the #1 most backed Kickstarter ever, and they talk about Kickstarters in this documentary. And so when we saw this, that our Walmart had it, I'm like, oh, get that game, get that game. This is such a fun card game for all ages. I think if you were to have some adults over, you'd really enjoy this, but even with kids, like, we've just been really enjoying. My kids are like, oh, Exploding Kittens, we're not gonna like that game. And Chloe, my daughter, she is, I mean, both my kids love cats, but she was kind of defensive. She's like, oh, we can't buy that game. I don't want Exploding Kittens. And I'm like, well, I think it's supposed to be like funny. And it truly is. This is a fantastic game. Okay, time for more random. These towels. I bought 2 of these and then a matching hand towel at Home Goods. Aren't these beautiful? So I love paisleys, right? And I bought some towels for my master bathroom a few years ago from Home Goods, and I really wish I had bought more than 1 set. That's another recommendation. If you fall in love with a towel set, buy a couple sets and just save some for down the road, because inevitably they're gonna get nasty. But if you love them, or if your entire theme is based on that towel, I'm still kicking myself. So if I ever see those again, I'm gonna buy them. But in the meantime, I picked these up. I love that they're, let me zoom you in just a bit. I love that there's texture and it's kind of embellished and raised. It's like they have towels that look like this with this same color scheme, but it's within the print. Whereas these are raised, you can see the texture. They just look a little bit more elegant and more expensive. So these fall into the category of don't touch. Like, this is display only, for looks only. Nobody use this towel. I've made that very clear. And what does my husband do as soon as I put it out? I see him drying off with this towel. I'm like, what are you doing? That towel is only for looks. I chuckle because I put things here to remind myself to talk about it, but then I guess I might as well show you it. So I found and made the most amazing homemade brownie recipe I've ever made. Let me just tell you, I'm a brownie connoisseur. I have bought and tried every box of brownies that they've ever sold. This is not a lie. This is not an exaggeration. I eat dessert 4 or 5 times a week. Anyone in this house can verify that, or even any of my friends for that matter. But anyway, so I found this lady on YouTube, and her channel is Whippoorwill Holler, I believe, and she does a lot of like baking and cooking, and their channel's just real raw, and I was drawn into it. And so I saw her make this brownie recipe, and I'm like, I was craving them anyways. So it just kind of gave me justification for going into my kitchen late at night, and I looked through my pantry, I'm like, daggum, I got all the ingredients. Let's whip up these brownies. These are amazing, okay? They are amazing. Here they are. They're in this container. It makes a full 9x13 sheet pan size, so they're great if you're going somewhere. But here's a tip. Make that many and then freeze half for the following week. And then when you want them down the road, or maybe you're able to stay out of the freezer longer than a week, I am not, then you can take them out, defrost them, have them with a cup of coffee, glass of wine, bowl of ice cream, chips on the side. I'm telling you, you need to make these brownies. Oh, I made them with peppermint extract because I was completely out of vanilla extract, and the recipe turned out just as amazing. I mean, we're talking a fudgy brownie. These are fudgy, they're not cake-based. Fudgy brownie with a chocolate ganache on the top. Stop. Okay, I have 2 perfumes. So the Yves Saint Laurent Libra, however you say that word, perfume is bomb. It's bomb. I have it in the spray size for like your purse or whatever. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. And you know what? I haven't really been tickled by a lot of perfumes as of late, or for a few years. So I recently decluttered a lot of mine, and I've gotten it down to just like newer ones because perfumes do expire. And I was wearing some, and I do a cloud, okay? I'm not like a 1 spritz, 2 spritz, 3 spritz kind of girl. I'm like like I want to walk into a room and know. I want to smell myself. I want to know I've arrived. I just really like perfume, right? I'm the person, those of you with scent sensitivities hate, because I'm like, oh, smelling good and stuff. But this is such a diverse perfume. I think a lot of you would enjoy it. It's not clean, but it's all the other categories like floral, fruity, and kind of musky, kind of woodsy, spicy. Ugh, it is divine. Along those same lines, I'm wearing this one today, and I got this for Christmas. This is the first perfume in a very long time, a few years at least, that I have smelled that was new to my nose that I instantly wanted. I mean, and I can smell a lot of things like, oh yeah, that's okay, or oh, I could wear that. But this one, I smelled it, and I knew immediately I was gonna love it. And so I got it for Christmas. It's the Givenchy L'Interdit. This is another one that I would put in the same category as this, where it's got the fruity elements, it's got the woodsy, spicy elements as well. It's pleasant. It's not as strong as some of the other ones I've recommended within the woodsy category. Both of these I think would appeal to a larger audience. Okay, one last little food thing. Actually, there's 2 recipes in here, but I'll leave the recipes in the description box. But I buy these Better Homes and Gardens magazines. And this Italian-style fried farro, please make it. It is the most delicious side dish that I've made in quite some time. I'd never had farro before. In fact, I had to go down to the grain aisle and look for it. But I have H-E-B here in Texas, and they carry, their shelves are very well stocked with a variety of things. And so it's like, I bought a quick cooking one that you can make in like 10 minutes. It's got prosciutto in it. It's got Parmesan. It has a balsamic glaze. It's got red onion, shaved Brussels sprouts. Don't be turned off by that. I'm telling you, once you saute that up with all those other ingredients I just mentioned, this is just a delicious side dish next to any sort of meat that you're going to be making, or honestly, just on its own for lunch. I love this. And then the other recipe I made last night, let me find it in here, but basically it's a scalloped au gratin potato, homemade. Oh my gosh, you guys, you have to make that recipe as well. I mean, if you're really gonna go for it, make them both in one night and serve it alongside a steak. Your family's gonna love you. Both of these recipes are, I give them 10 stars. They're delicious. I so miss doing favorites. Things happen, and I get away from doing this, and then this is what happens. This is the result of me not filming favorites, is this super random assortment. Okay, I'm gonna finish off with all of my makeup things, but I've just looked down. Do you know what I forgot that I always put in the beginning of this video? I even wrote a sticky note. My wine favorites. How did I not start out the video with my wine favorites? Well, let me consult my phone because I took a couple pictures. I need to post them to Instagram. This is the one I had this weekend. And the story behind this is I bought it for myself as a splurge because it was a more expensive bottle of wine. And when I say that, I think it was around $20. So I've been kind of tinkering around in the $20 to $30 price range with wine over the last 6 months. And sometimes I found some really true gems, and other times I'm like, nah. But this particular one is a Merlot. And I've been trying to drink a little bit more Merlots lately because that's a neglected grape for me. I tend to go towards a Cabernet, a Zinfandel, or a Pinot Noir, and a Merlot is such an approachable, juicy, fruity wine. So this particular one is called Educated Guess. It's from Napa County in California. It was a 2016 Merlot. And you guys, when I am finished filming this video, I'm going to go buy another bottle because I had a glass of this on, I think it was Friday evening. I was doing something on my computer, editing, and I like to have a glass of wine while I do that. And Saturday afternoon was like, you know what? I opened that wine. I got to drink it because, you need to drink it within a few days. I couldn't find it. Would you believe my husband drank the rest of that wine? I was so upset. I said, honey, I splurged on that. See, I had bought him something, and that was mine, and I bought him something, but then he went and drank it, and I was so upset. You know, there's the whole thing, like, don't get between a woman and her chocolate. Nah, don't get between a woman and her wine. The moral of the story here is this Merlot is beautiful, and it is worth the couple dollars more to spend on this particular bottle. I thought it was so divine. Look at these cute little boxes that I got at Michael's. I put these on a shelf here in my bedroom, and I saw the flowers, and you know I love flowers, and then of course the pink and white stripe. I just thought it was so sweet. But I love to decorate with like a riser, or getting my displays and my vignettes up off of one even surface. And so I love to decorate with these, but they also do serve a purpose if you did want to store things in them, because they do open up and you could put, you know, maybe photographs, or I almost said newspaper clippings. Is that a thing anymore? I don't know, but it just came to me. I think it was the vintage quality that made me think about newspaper clippings. But you could totally, oh, look at that. You could put stuff in there, but I just think they're beautiful. Now you can use them upwards this way too, maybe like a bookend or something, or just to add some color, or maybe you just want some faux books, but I'm currently using them on the flat side of them here. Or wait, maybe all the sides are flat. You know what I mean. We got to talk about this mascara, because at one point I remember really liking this. And so I buy one mascara at a time now. Gone are the days where I stock up and I have backups, and I just don't. Because by the time I get around to using them, it might be a year later. And then that deal you might have gotten, now you didn't get a deal anymore, because now the mascara you just opened is dry. So I buy one at a time. And I bought the IT Cosmetics Superhero. And I thought I liked this at one time, and I watch Emily Noel, and I totally trust her recommendations, and she's been loving this lately, so I thought I'm gonna give it a go again. I don't know. I think for me what it is, and I've said this before, everyone's eyelashes are different lengths, textures, we got different things going on, right? And so I think this mascara is too wet for my fine textured eyelashes, because when I first put it on, I'm like, ooh yeah, that's right, length, curl. I kid you not, within 30 minutes, my lashes are flat, straight, heavy. It looks like I don't even have mascara on, and that is not a good look when you have a full face of makeup on and you've forgotten mascara. It's just not a good look. So I'm gonna stick it through, because I bought it and it was $25. And so today I'm wearing this, but I put on false lashes because I'm like, it was doing the same thing. And when I have on like more eye makeup, it's pertinent to have a good mascara. Otherwise, it just doesn't look right. But I don't know. I also feel like it's kind of clumpy when it goes on. I don't hate the wand, but I feel like it could be better. Like there could be more bristles. I think what it is, it's like too wet, but at the same time, it's clumpy. So I just had to share that and ask if you guys felt the same way. I feel like mascaras are similar to foundations in that, you know, we're all coming with different scenarios and situations and reasons for things, and I don't know. I'm not in love. So as far as foundation is concerned, I have two foundations. I use them both. But lately, I have foregone primer completely. And I've not even noticed a difference with the longevity of my makeup. Like, I feel like without primer, the primer I was using wasn't actually making my makeup last longer. And I think it's because I use the hydrating primer. Well, when it starts to warm up, I actually don't need that, and it becomes counterproductive, because a super hydrating primer mixed with higher, more humid, warm temperatures, then my makeup is not going to last with that combination. So I've been wearing the NARS Sheer Glow without primer and loving it. This is what I have on today. I do a very thin application, meaning I just do a very small amount and I smear it all over the place. And then I do possibly a second coat in areas that need it. And I'm just loving how skin-like it looks. It doesn't look heavy or cakey. I'm also not having too much dryness going on, even though I'm not using that hydrating primer. Now today, hence why I'm wearing this wool sweater, It's 55 degrees out. We've been having warm temperatures. Well, post-winter storm, we had like a 70-degree week, and now we're back into a few cooler days, which I'm loving. It's super dark and dreary, and I was like, oh great, how come lately every day I film it's dark? But I love it. I'm not sure where I was going with that thought. Anyways, I've been using no primer, and it's been working out fine for me. This concealer I wanted to share again. It's the Pat McGrath Labs, let's see, Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. I have the shade L6. This is my sole concealer, and I've been using it even longer than the last time that we spoke about this, and I really like it. The formulation is thin, it's not dry, it's kind of serum-like, but yet it's pigmented. Like, it really packs a punch. I don't do any more than probably 2 to 3 dabs, and you'll be surprised how far this concealer really goes. I even use this to cover up like zits and stuff on my face, and I probably should buy a little bit darker shade to match my skin for that, but I just kind of make it work. I just throw a little bronzer over that area if it got a little too light, but I do really enjoy this. Now, another reason I'm mentioning this is because the concealers I once used and once enjoyed aren't working as well for me now that, you know, age and, you know, lifelines and laugh lines and all these little things that start to happen and pop up. This works well with the aging under eye situation that I have. Just make sure that you don't, and really maybe with any concealer, don't go too heavy on the under eyes, because it is a very thin skin area. And the last thing is another rediscovered, actually it's always been a favorite, but you know, you kind of rotate things, like there's certain things you enjoy, then you're like, okay, I'm over that, or I want to try something else, or I need to rotate my makeup. And for a while, I've been using powdered highlighters. There was a whole year, basically after I got this, that I used this, and then I was like, oh, I'll take a break and go over to my powdered highlighters. I'm like, oh, I loved you. Why did I ever stray from you? But now I'm back to the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have this as my highlighter today, and that is it. Just this, no powder highlighter. I put a little bit on my nose, Cupid's bow here, but I have no primer on, so I have no extra boost in hydration there. I just have the NARS Sheer Glow on, and then this. And I just really feel like if you want the most subtle, natural looking highlight, a liquid product like this is so great, because it's not going to sit into the fine lines. You're not going to have those tiny little sparkles out in daylight that in the wrong place can emphasize pores and texture. And from experience, I sometimes I've looked outside in my mirror and I'm just like, ooh, I went a little too much, or I shouldn't have used that product, or it's time to declutter that, because I don't need to emphasize my pores. That is the last thing. On top of texture and fine lines, like, no, we need to hide all that. I just think this is really beautiful. You can use this as a highlighter, but you can also use it as a primer for all over your face if you do need that hydration or just an extra little bit of glow. It's just a really beautiful product, and I have shade 2. So that is going to do it for all of my random favorites at the current moment. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I always enjoy our time together, and I just want to say thank you so much for sticking here with me over the years on my channel and supporting me and liking the video and commenting, and all the interaction that you give. It does truly help out my channel, and I mean, if you ever want to give back to my channel, the best thing that you can do is stay subscribed, hit the notification bell, give the video a like, comment on it. It's the interaction that tells YouTube that, hey, people like this video, we're gonna promote it to other people. And then of course, the opposite of that is the lack of that. My video goes dead in the water, and that makes me sad. I want more people to be able to hang out and have this fun chat time together. But I appreciate you. I appreciate all of your comments that you take the time to write, and all the kind words that you've sent me and my family. I just appreciate you truly. So I hope you guys have nothing short of a fabulous day. I'm gonna go run out and buy that wine, and we will chat soon. Bye, guys.